Well, as we say goodbye to September, um, well, I checked the weather so far this year, or this month rather. September, the average high was 80 degrees, the average low was 65. We even had some light rain this month, including 3/100ths of an inch back in earlier in the month. And the highest temperature was 94 degrees. The lowest temperature was 59, so it is starting to feel more like autumn. And yes, it was only in the upper 60s today. And as we say hello to October, we're going to get off to a cool start with some real fall-like weather. But then it's going to feel like summer again next week. And USC won a close game over Colorado earlier today, but the Rockies made it interesting. And on this last day of September, let's check out some scores that have playoff implications. Longtime friend and colleague, California representative. On the next to last day of Miguel Cabrera's game, the Tigers shut out Cleveland 8-0. And Miguel Cabrera went 1 for 4 with an RBI and a run scored. And yes, and his next to last game. And the Rays beat the Blue Jays 7-5. But the Blue Jays would clinch a playoff spot though. And the Rays, of course, have already clinched the 4th seed and the first wild card. So they will host a wild card series. Either it's unknown yet. Meanwhile, the Mets would sweep a day-night doubleheader over the Phillies. And the Mets have already been long eliminated from the playoffs. But Kyle Schwarber did hit another home run today and knocked in 3 runs. And Francisco Lindor also went deep today. And so the Phillies have already clinched the first wild card in the National League, so they will host a wild card series, which is also yet to be determined. But the Marlins do clinch a playoff berth, though, and clinch either the 5th or the 6th wild card, which is yet to be determined. And the Marlins pound the Pirates 7-3. Jorge Soler is the World Series MVP. Is going back to the postseason. Meanwhile, Luis Arias had the day off. And yes, it's kind of odd too because he will win the batting title in consecutive seasons with 2 different teams in 2 different leagues. I mean, how often does that happen? Probably 1 in a million. Meanwhile, the Yankees will finish with a winning record for the 31st consecutive year as they beat the Royals 5-2. And the Cardinals, of course, pound the Reds 15-6, so the Reds are eliminated. And Joey Votto, we don't know if he's going to retire yet, but it's like the end of the road for Joey Votto. Meanwhile, Lars Nootbaar hit a home run and drove in 3 runs and scored twice. Both the Royals and the Cardinals will finish last in their respective divisions the way it's looked, the way it is. And there was heavy rain and snow and flood up in Lake Arrowhead today too, with heavy downpours. And yeah, it's kind of like what happened during the winter, when we had all that snow up there and it all melted. And meanwhile, the Padres beat the White Sox 6-1. So they will either finish at or a little bit above 500. Meanwhile, the White Sox are the 2nd team in the AL Central to lose 100 games this year. No home runs were hit in that game, though, but Michael Wacha got the win. And the Cubs beat the Brewers 10-6. And yes, we had cool days with temperatures only in the upper 60s to low 70s for the most part, too. And it was only 53 degrees up in Big Bear today. And, yeah, so even though the Cubs won against the Brewers, the Cubs have been eliminated. Meanwhile, the Rangers beat the Mariners 6-1 as they clinch a playoff spot. No home runs were hit in that game, though. And unfortunately, the Mariners have been eliminated from the postseason because the Astros also won today by beating the Diamondbacks 1-0. And Justin Verlander was masterful again today. But with the Reds losing, the Diamondbacks have clinched the wild card spot. So either the Diamondbacks or the Marlins will be the 5th and 6th seeds respectively. But the Rangers and Astros have yet to determine the Western Division title in the American League. The Astros own the tiebreaker, though, by winning 9 out of 13 games in the regular season. And the Braves beat the Nationals 5-3. Marcelo Ozuna hit a home run and knocked in 3 runs. Ronald Acuna Jr. scored another couple runs as his MVP-type season is in the works. Meanwhile, Spencer Strider has a Brave strikeout single-season record with 277 Ks. And he got the win, passing John Smoltz. Meanwhile, the Twins pound the Rockies 14-6. And the Orioles beat the Red Sox 5-2. So the Orioles have officially clinched the second best record in the majors. And now let's get to our local teams here. The Angels lose to the A's 7-3. And the Angels are 1 loss away from another 90-loss season, which is very possible. Logan O'Hoppe tied the rookie record for home runs hit by a catcher with 14, tying Benji Molina's record. And last but not least, the Giants beat the Dodgers 2-1. Mookie Betts did have an RBI, so he has 107 ribbies this year. Still the most for a leadoff guy. Freddie Freeman only went 1 for 4 with a single today. And Clayton Kershaw was the hard luck loser today. And we hope it's not his final regular season start. Meanwhile, Tyler Fitzgerald hit a home run. Tristan Beck got the win. Camilo Duvall got the save. And the Dodgers will have to try for 100 wins tomorrow as we send Bobby Miller for the final tune-up for the regular season. And the Giants have officially clinched 4th place. And tomorrow, every game starts at noon. And that's pretty much it. Well, I hope you all have a great night, everybody. And I'll see you next time. Hopefully Freeman and Betts can make history tomorrow. Peace out.